Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about the English consonant sounds. So as you can see here, this is the chart that is representing the English uh, standard of English. That is the sounds produced in the standard form of English. Uh, and one more thing, this is not the IPA chart. So this chart is basically representing the sounds that are produced only in English language. So let us see how these consonant sounds are represented in this chart. So if you can see here, the top side of this chart, I have written place of articulation. So when we produce sounds in any language, so these sounds are produced by the different organs that are present in our body, more specifically in our mouth. So the places of articulations are the places where these sounds are produced. And if you can see on the left hand side of this chart, this is the manner of articulation. Manner, as the name suggests, is how the sounds are produced. So I have written here plosive, affricate, fricative, nasal, lateral, frictionless, continuate, and semivowel. So these are the manners how these sounds, consonant sounds, are produced in English language. And here the places of articulation are written: bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, postalveolar, palatoalveolar, palatal, velar, glottal. So 9 places of articulations are there in English language. So what are these places of articulation? Let us discuss. So first, if you can see here, I have written bilabial. Bilabial, as the name suggests, is produced with the help of our two lips. Bi means two and labial means lips. So it is produced with the help of our two lips. So these bilabial sounds, if you can see here, are pa, ba, and ma. So whenever you are producing these sounds, you are touching your two lips, pa, ba, ma. So these are the bilabial sounds in English. So let us see the next place of articulation, labiodental. Fa, va. Whenever you are producing the sounds of labiodental, so these are produced with the help of your lower lip and upper teeth. Fa, va. So try to produce these sounds and you will see that your lower lip is touched by the upper teeth. Then comes the next place of articulation, dental. So dental sounds are produced by the tip of the tongue and the upper front teeth. Then if you can see here, these are the alveolar sounds. So what are these alveolar sounds? Alveolar sounds, alveolar is a place in our mouth. It is called the alveolar ridge. So alveolar place of articulation is basically produced with the help of the blade of the tongue and the alveolar ridge. So it is just beside the teeth. The ridge is just beside the teeth. Then comes the post-alveolar. Post-alveolar sounds is nothing but the sounds that are produced after the alveolar region. So it is on the back side of the alveolar region. So the name is saying here post-alveolar. Then comes the palatoalveolar sounds. So palatoalveolar sounds is a place of articulation which is produced when the tongue touches the hard palate or the ridge. So it is palatoalveolar. Then comes the palatal sounds. So palatal sounds are represented by whenever the blade of the tongue is touching the hard palate. So these sounds are known as the palatal sounds. Then the velar sounds. So velar sounds like ka, ga, and nga are produced whenever the back of the tongue, remember the back of the tongue is touching the soft palate. So these are known as the velar sounds. And at last we have the glottal sounds. Glottal sounds are produced in the glottis. So glottis is itself an area where these sounds are produced. So in English we have ha as in home, house. So this is the glottal sound ha. So these are the consonant sounds in English, and these are the places of articulation. So if I can show you here, if you can see here, this is VL, VD, VL, VD, VL, VD, VL, VD. These things are repeating here. So you might ask, what are these? So these are nothing but the VL is representing the voiceless sounds and VD is representing the voice sounds. So VL is voiceless sounds, voiceless consonants, and VD are voiced consonants. So voiceless consonants are those consonant sounds when they are produced, the vocal cord, if you touch here, it does not vibrate. If you try to say pa, 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 the vocal cord does not vibrate. That's why these are known as voiceless consonant sounds. But the voice sounds are those sounds the vocal cord tend to vibrate. If you produce ba, then the vocal cord will vibrate. So these are called as voice sounds. So that part of the chart is clear, and here, as I've told you before, this is the manner of articulation: plosive, affricate, fricative, nasal, lateral, frictionless, continuous, semivolute. How these consonant sounds are produced? So plosives are produced with a complete closure of the two articles. So the air is not passed immediately. So whenever you are producing pa, the air is released suddenly. Pa, pa. It is closed at the first moment, and at the next moment it is released. Then affricate. In affricate, there is this slow release of the air. Affricate sounds are like cha, cha. If you try to produce these sounds, then there is this slow release of the air. Then comes fricative. Fricative, you might know the meaning from the name itself. Fricative causes friction. So there is a noisy sound that is produced whenever you produce these sounds: fa, va, tha, da, sha, ja, sha, ja, ha. So if you produce any of these sounds, so there is this friction sound like sha, ja. So therefore it is called as fricative sounds. Then comes the nasal sounds. Nasal sounds are produced when the oral cavity is closed completely and the air is released through nose: ma, na, and nga. Then the lateral sounds. Lateral sounds are produced whenever the air is passed through the sides of the tongue: la, alveolar, lateral. So this is a voice sounds. And one more thing, the voice sounds are always written on the right hand side of this box. If you can see here, all these voice sounds are written on the right hand side. So if you see any sound on the right hand side of the box, those are voice sounds. And the sounds that are on the left hand side of the box, that are voiceless sounds. So the next manner of articulation is frictionless continuant, represented by ra. Then the semi-vowels ya and wa, velar. So these are the sounds that are present in English language, and these are represented with the help of this chart. So if we remember this chart, then we are able to distinguish between all the consonant sounds that are present in English. So that's all for this video. So we will come with the vowel sounds and the chart in the next video. In this part, let us look at some sounds, English consonant sounds, and some of the examples. So first, here I have written pa. So basically the English, not only English, but the sounds are represented with these slanted lines. The sound is written in between. So if you want to represent some sounds like ra, so this is the phoneme ra, and we have to represent it within these slanted lines. So this is one phoneme ra. So coming back to this pa, I have written the word pay. So this is the phonemic transcription of the word pay. P A A, pay. Then fine, fa, represented within these slanted lines. So this is the phonemic transcription. Then tha, thin, again represented within these slanted lines. Then sh, shame, shame. Remember, this is a fricative sound, and this is not sha, this is sha, shame. Then nga, represented by the word sing, and this is the phonemic transcription of the word sing.